Everybody, Greg Helbeck here, and welcome to this week's REI Deal Breakdown. Today I'm going to be talking about 2102 North Madison Street in Wilmington, Delaware, 19802. Now, this was a wholesale deal that our company did down in Delaware back in early January of 2023, and I'll tell you where we got the lead from and how much money we made, and I'll tell you all about it. So I'm actually pulling up my P&L right now for the year. And okay, so first things first, we made $18,950 assigning the contract. So what we did was we got this property in contract with the seller. Brett on my team was able to do that. And once we had the property in contract, I blasted the property out to my email list. I have a decent sized email list down there in Delaware, which is one of the markets we operate in. And we were able to get somebody to offer us $18,950 above our contract, right? So I think we're in contract for $30,000, and we sold that for whatever that $48,950 or whatever the case is. So we made almost $20,000, and that deal, I believe we did that whole deal. I think it was in about 3 weeks. It was about a 21-day escrow period. I think we locked it up very early January, and then we sold it, found the buyer right away, and then we were a couple weeks later, we were closed and funded. So shout out to Vance Funk and the Funk Law Office down in Delaware. They are the best if you're in Delaware and you need a good closing attorney. Vance Funk and his team are the best in the business, period, hands down. I use them for basically all my deals down there. So let me tell you, where did we find this lead from? Like, how did we get somebody to sell us their house for $30,000 in America? Well, I'll tell you. We found this lead from SEO. So a seller went online, and they typed in probably quick house sale, cash for my house, we buy houses, sell my house fast, whatever the search term was. And the seller found our website. They came to our website and they filled out a form about selling. And we got back to them. And I think there was competition on the deal, if I'm not mistaken. And we were able to make the seller, build a relationship with the seller, make some rapport, and made him an offer. But long story short, the reason the seller sold the property super cheap was because the property was a fire damaged property. And I believe the seller got his insurance money out of it. So he really got all of his money out of the property, and he didn't really want the thing anymore. It was a liability. So he was like, I'll sell it super cheap. I don't want to deal with it. The guy's name was Joe Taylor. The seller was like the coolest guy ever. I didn't really speak with him that much, but I had a few interactions with him. Brett was dealing with him mostly. And it was a great deal. I mean, it was an easy deal. The seller really didn't have any drama with us. The buyer didn't give us any drama. I wish they were all like that, but they certainly are not. If you're in this business for more than a week, you'll realize that most deals have hair on them, either a title issue or a seller going crazy or a buyer going crazy or whatever. But this was a relatively smooth deal. I told Brett after the deal closed, I said, I wish every seller was like Joe. You know, if every seller was like Joe, we would be able to do this business from the back of our yachts or something like that, because it would just be that easy. But that's not the case most of the time. So we found the deal from a Google search engine, SEO lead, came to our website organically. We were able to lock it up. I think we did it all. Yeah, we did it all over the phone. No one went to the property. I never went there. Brett never went. It was like kind of in a shitty neighborhood. So we don't like to go out into the bad neighborhoods. So Brett did not go out there. The whole thing was done virtual. I never saw. I was actually in California and New York. It was during the holidays, and I never went there. Brett never went there, and we literally made $18,950 via Wi-Fi and cell phone service. And that's another lesson: the power of this business. Like, and nowadays with technology and social media and DocuSign and mobile notaries, like, you can do this business via the internet. It's absolutely crazy. Like, if you were to say 15 years ago you're going to virtually do deals, people would think you're crazy. Like, how are you supposed to wholesale a house when you never see it? Well, with the power of photos from sellers and, video walkthroughs, especially if you're wholesaling, think about it. If you're not buying the property and a buyer's buying it, you going there doesn't really do anything if the seller can get you pictures, right? Or you can send someone there to take pictures. Like, it just really doesn't matter. That's the great thing about wholesaling, is like the buyer's the one who's making the decision, so you don't really ever need to go there, and then that saves you a bunch of time. So you could do deals virtually. I've probably done over 100 houses virtually at this point, like probably more, honestly. It's actually easier to do it virtually, believe it or not, because you have to find people to help you, and you're not like chained to your local area. So that's the property, 2102 North Madison Street. If you go on Zillow, you'll see it sold for 30 grand. When you do an assignment, it doesn't record as an assignment, so it just records as the original purchase price. So we locked it up for $30,000, which is super cheap. And that's the deal. So if you're in Delaware, or if you're in New York, in the Hudson Valley area, New York City suburbs, and you want to partner with me on deals, we do JV deals all the time with people. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, whether you want to wholesale me a house or you want to wholesale a house with me. I'd love to be your buyer. I'd love to JV with you. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. I hope you got value from this video, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.